What's going on, guys? It's Jordan back today with another video. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at Plan B. No, not what your guys thinking, but Plan B's crypto charts and see if I agree with them or if I disagree with some of his takes. If that sounds good to you guys, let's jump right on in to the video. As we jump right on in to this first Plan B chart, which is basically Bitcoin's the amount of months after the halving. So on the left here, you have the Bitcoin price, and going across, you guys have the years, right? You guys have probably seen this chart, but I wanted to kind of give my analysis on it just because I really haven't talked about it in any of my videos up to this point. So you guys can see the closer we get, we start out at, the halving is when we start out at this like little blue, right? So during the blue, that's when the halving is, right? So in 2020, we obviously had the halving, right? 2016 and 2012, somewhere around there. So that's when we have the halvings, right? And as we go from blue to red to orange to yellow, that's the amount of months till after the halving, right? So you guys can kind of get an idea. So where we are right now is we're turning from red to orange, and you guys can see every time that we actually turn from red to orange, right? Orange is when we really start getting super parabolic. So that's really, really exciting. That's really exciting stuff just right there. But let's look at where we were, when we passed previous all-time highs. So back here in this, 2011, 2012, 2013, this was a really long bull market. This was actually kind of two, but it's more of one big bull market here. But if you guys look where we were when we passed this all-time high here, we were in the red territory, right? And orange was way up here. Now let's look at up here. So when we passed this all-time high, we were turning red to orange, right? So pretty similar to this second all-time high of where we are right now, according to Plan B's chart here of months after the halving, right? So everything looks pretty similar. For this first chart, it looks like we're more similar to this second bull run here, where we kind of turn red to orange based on the months till after the halving. And, that's when we really started getting parabolic, which is super, super exciting. We just pulsed the all-time highs. We're about to turn orange. You guys can see what happened every time we turn orange. So that's kind of the first chart here. First thing I kind of really wanted to touch on for these charts for this guy. So we're going to switch on over to the second chart here. And that really blasted my eyes. We just went from like black to white. I don't know if you guys saw that too, but wow. All right, as we look on this, so this is kind of the last three Bitcoin cycles. Kind of even like he kind of evened it out where it's easier to see the percentage returns that you're getting in each bull market in a realist sense. So he evened it out, and where we are right now is we're right in between actually the last two bull markets. So this dark blue one is obviously 2012 to 2016, and this lighter blue one is 2016 to 2020. And obviously the one we're in now is 2020 to 2024, and we're right in between, right? So he put out a tweet saying, RIP, lengthening cycles and diminishing returns. You guys can see that up here. We don't see. I watched a video. You guys probably watch Benjamin Cowan's video. Not saying if I saying your name right, man, but I love your videos. I take a lot of inspiration from you, but. He actually made a video about this, and he doesn't really think like just because we're above this doesn't mean we have to necessarily continue at this rate, because right now we're actually at a higher exponential rate than we were in the 2016 to 2020 bull market. And his philosophy is that it's kind of more lengthening cycles, and we're going to see a slower rate of return. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think with all the institutional investors, it's such a different market than it was back in 2016 that I think we definitely could outpace this light blue bull market and kind of stay in between here, which would mean some absolutely insane returns, putting us probably in that $200,000 to $400,000 range rather than just the $100,000 top target. So look for us to stay in between these. That would be extreme bullish and make a lot of us a lot of money in the long run, obviously. So we're outpacing 2016, 2020, obviously underpacing 2012, 2016. That one was pretty parabolic. I don't see us ever matching that kind of craziness. Where we could. Don't get me wrong. That was like kind of going from 10,000 all the way close up to $1 million. The last one was kind of like 10,000 to about 200,000. So we'll see where this brings us. But this is just the second chart I wanted to look at that Plan B can't come out with. Actually, as I say that, he actually, Benjamin Cowan posted right here. I like how you make fun of diminishing returns while also showing diminishing returns from the last two cycles in your chart. Causation doesn't equal future results really. Just 2 points of data. Yeah, the second one was shorter, but we're already seeing the third one kind of outpace the second one. So either I'm not calling you out, Ben, but we definitely could see this outpace. 2 points of data isn't really enough for us to kind of conclude that it is diminishing returns, and also lengthening cycles. I think we're going to see pretty similar cycle patterns. So as we jump on to the third one, this one was super interesting. He says 23K Bitcoin is nice, but we have some catching up to do with the S&P 500 since the COVID stimulus QE, or quantitative easing. Quantitative, if you guys can say it, but the S&P applied Bitcoin price is 60K. So you guys can see this chart here. Goes from $1 to $100,000 on this side, and this is the S&P 500, and this is Bitcoin. So you guys can see Bitcoin stayed pretty close to the S&P 500 right along this trend line here, and you can see right now we're undervalued, right? And Bitcoin goes from above this line to below it and above it. You guys can see this squiggly line. It goes up and above, but it relatively stays close to this line. Right now we're pretty far from it, and we don't spend that much time far from it, right? And we're due to get a nice move above it. He's saying that right now, where the S&P 500 is, Bitcoin's expected value and where it's supposed to be right now is up towards 60K. So we could be seeing Bitcoin making a huge move up to 60K very, very soon to catch up with the S&P 500 and kind of even out and get back to this trend line here. I don't see it going much lower than this. You guys can see in this chart, it doesn't go that far very often, maybe a handful of times literally in the last 10 years. So this is just this chart for you guys. I thought this was very interesting, well, showing that Bitcoin is indeed undervalued against the S&P 500. Now I just want to bring up the this chart here, and this is just the Brave New Coin chart for Bitcoin. I just wanted to see which cycle I think we're closer to performing exactly at. So right now, you guys can see how parabolic we got right after the all-time high, right? We broke it and we got a massive green dildo to the upside, right? So let's look at what happened back to here. So what we did here is we just blasted straight through the all-time high, right? And what we did in the second cycle, we actually went up to all-time high, corrected back down to the 20-week moving average, coming back up, corrected down to the 20-week moving average, and then really broke it, sporadically, right? So we're actually performing more similarly, in my opinion, to this market cycle down here rather than this market cycle, right? So I think we're going to follow maybe this market cycle a little bit more closely, where maybe we get a huge parabolic move to the upside. If I get rid of these, huge parabolic move to the upside like we did here, right? And before getting a massive correction down to the 20-week moving average, right? And this one had a much bigger correction in the middle of the bull market, where this one was kind of like up, down to 20-week, up, down to 20-week, up, down. This one was literally like up, down to the 20-week, up, right? So I think we're gonna, we could follow this cycle down here more closely, because that's what it's kind of looking like so far, right? Anything can really happen. We can change that. We could dump down to the 20-week average right, tomorrow. You never really know, but if this thing keeps moving up, I see the 20-week keep moving up. us getting pretty parabolic here and then making a big correction down to the 20-week. That would make a lot of sense to me, at least. But, Bitcoin tends to not make sense, and Bitcoin tends to do what Bitcoin wants to do. You guys know that. You guys have been, even if you've been in the market for like a year, you guys seen Bitcoin's craziness where it goes up to 10K, down to 3K, all the way back up now to 23K, right? Who, like I said in my previous video, guys, who thought all the way back in March, right, that Bitcoin would be at 23K right now, right? And if you guys are saying yes to that question, I'm calling you out. You guys did not call that, doing over, about a 6X in, less than 9 months. And, I'm extremely grateful to be in this position where I did accumulate a lot of my coins. I accumulated a lot back here. I accumulated when we did have this dip, and I accumulated a lot during this consolidation as well. So I'm extremely grateful to be able to buy at these prices. And I think, like I said in my previous video, guys, any price below 20K, I think is extremely valuable buy. And any price below 50K, in my opinion, will still has a pretty good chance of netting you returns. Just be careful. It's not financial advice, but I think any price under 20K is such a great buy. And I just think the institutional investors know that. And we're not going to get a lot of opportunities to buy under 20K, right? They know that, right? And if we does go back under 20K, it's going to be a quick wick where we go right back up, right? Everyone knows that anything under the all-time high is a good buy now, so we'll see where we go. I'm looking for buying opportunities. Just wanted to bring you guys a nice long Bitcoin video today because I haven't touched on it in a few days. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You guys have been leaving some absolutely great comments in the comment section below. You guys make my day with those comments. I hope you guys know that it really does make a difference for me. And I appreciate every single one of you guys who watches my videos every single day. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow, you're going to be getting 2 videos because you know it is the weekend. 2 videos on the weekend. So look out for those. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Press that subscribe button if you haven't already. Peace.